Poverty breeds death, killing, slums, pits, Kenya, Africa, Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Ukraine, Russia, all these nations, Libya, and many, many other nations. Poverty breeds killing. It breeds killing. It breeds it because people are fighting to get food. People are fighting to get money. People are fighting to get their life. People are fighting to live their life. And it brings riots, and it brings terrorists, and it brings terrorism, which is real. It's a fact of human life. These people feed off that fear. They feed off your fear. And the more they can kill, the more they can feed off your fear. And until we find a way to stop them, all we can do is try. Understand that these people know nothing but the power of killing. These people know nothing but the power of killing, brutality, torture, butchery, barbarism, and rape, violation. They're raised with it. They're taught that it's some kind of honor, that's some kind of religious thing, but it's not. It's not how the Quran was written. It's not how the Quran was written. These things aren't holy wars. These are slaughters, butchery, barbarism. You put people in slums and dumps and pits. They got to fight for food. They fight to live. They fight to survive. You live in the streets. It's a wild life. It's a lonely life. It's a hard life. Concrete buildings with no power, no electric, no water. It's not an easy thing to live in. When you're alone all the time, you're constantly looking to see who's looking at you. They're looking for you. They're looking at you. And that's why the thing with the hoodies. That's why the thing with the tattoos. Because people like this cause trouble. Most of them don't. Most people wear hoodies, never bother anybody in their life. But you have those that do, that hunt human race. They hunt the human beings today. They hunt them. Terrorists hunt them. They don't wear hoodies, but they wear hats over their head. They wear scarves around their face. They don't want to be seen. They don't want to be known. They don't want to be heard of. They just want to kill and bleed or sacrifice people's lives. And that's the humanness of human life. That's the inhumanness of human life. Humanism has to take hold. Humanism has to take hold. That's what this station is here for. Humanism. It's here to bring humanism to the world, to all people, to all nations. That touch of humanism, that kind word, that gentle touch, that feeling that somebody cares. Because I do care. I get sick of all the killing. It's time to try peace, quiet, quality of life. But governments need to change it. Governments need to take less military and more humanitarian efforts. The more humanitarian efforts that they make, the more peace you're going to find. The more humanitarian efforts that people make in the world, the more peace you're going to find. It's going to take us all. It's going to take all human beings. It's going to take all human life. We all have to be part. We have to be part of the humanitarian change, the humanitarian peace of human life, the humanitarian growth of human life, to make killing the thing of the past, to make killing the thing of not wanting to be. We do that by being kind to people, respecting people, being honorable to people, letting people live. Racism, bigotry, and other stuff feeds these breeding of killing. Feeds these breeding of killing. People aren't born into racist families, into bigot families. But there's no place for it in the world today, because life has to live. Life needs to live. Life needs to thrive. Life needs to touch everybody. As food, water, and care are the biggest part of human life. Everybody wants to look after their family. Everybody wants to protect their family. Everybody wants to live a quality of life, no matter where you're at. Whether you're in Ukraine, you're in Syria, you're in Russia, or you're in Libya, or you're in Chicago, or you're in New York, or Harlem. Everybody wants to live a human life. Everybody wants to live a human quality of life. It's not enough jobs. We don't make enough American products anymore to put people to work. But like I said, if Congress doesn't pass the bill for the infrastructure, 700,000 people get laid off. That's 700,000 more without a job, collecting unemployment, or doing anything they can to survive. People get where they can't work no more. People get where they've worked so much in their life or so hard that they just can't take it to work. Their bodies can't take it. Their bodies wear out. But there are people that are mentally ill. They get stuffed in the jails that don't belong there. The world has a host of wrongs that need to be righted. The world has a host of wrongs that need to be righted. The world creates terrorists. As long as the world believes that killing is the answer to everything, humanitarianism, it will breed terrorists. It will not only breed terrorists, it will breed serial killers, it will breed rapists. People are taught these hatreds, these bigotries, these races. People are taught to kill. People are taught that killing is better than life. And that's the sad part of human life. That's the mournful part of human life. That these people don't get to know the happiness, the tranquility of peace. To walk in a park, play in a playground. They play in mud fields, in minefields, and get blown apart. This is what life is all about. It's changing life. Life has to ever be changing. And we have to do our part to do it. But governments have to do their part too. They have to do more humanitarian effort and less military effort. And I'll guarantee you'll see a change in the world. We will see a change in the world. But people have to believe that. People have to understand that. People have to know that to be the fact of life that it is. And the reality of life that it is. That's the truth of human life. It's a fact of human life. It's a reality of human life. Until people believe that humanitarianism is better than killing, it's never going to stop. If people think everything is the answer to killing, burying, we're not going to have a population. We're not going to have a next generation. Because kids are killing each other all over the world. Kids are killing each other in this country. Kids are going off and killing people. Sandy Hook, Santa Barbara, 22-year-old kid just lets loose, starts firing at people. They killed him in Belgium. They kidnapped 270 in Nigeria. Children. They're stealing the children's future. This is what we want to stop. This is what we want to stop. We want to bring humanitarianism to the world. It's really, really the truth of human life. It's the fact of human life. It's the reality of human life. It's the truth of human life. If people would listen, people would understand. And what I say is the truth. What I have been saying has been the truth for the last 10 years. That humanitarianism is the hope of all human life. Humanitarianism is the truth of all human life. Humanitarianism is what will make governments work better. What will bring hope and help and care to those that are stuck in poverty, slums, and worn-out nations. Worn-out nations all over the world. Syria, Ukraine, where they're battling and fighting for their own nation. It's not right. But people have to understand that humanitarianism has to have a big part of diplomacy. Has to have a big part of diplomacy. You can't just keep sanctioning every nation with no food, no water, no medicine, no money, no this, no that, no this. Because they don't get enough. And then they hate, and they bigot, and they get mad, and they get racist. And they just begin to kill. They begin to kill. They think killing gives them a better life than the next life. But humanitarian gives them a better life in this life and the next life. And that's the human truth. That's the human fact. That's the human reality that we all need to understand. We all need to understand that every human life needs a bit of human hope. Needs a care of human hope. Needs the giving of human hope. Needs a quality of life. And until we do that, we're fighting a lost war. We're fighting a lost war because we're losing the battle. People don't see it by now, they're never going to see it. But you can see it. You can see it happening all over the world. That's the human truth. That's the human fact. That's the human life. So I can do the videos for people have to view. And I meant what I said. I mourn the loss of the people in Santa Barbara. I mourn the loss of the people in Belgium. I mourn the loss of MH370. I mourn the loss of the children in Sandy Hook. I mourn the loss of any terrorist act where they open fire on people, or they drive a bomb into people, or they bomb pad people using children as human weapons. I mourn the loss of these people. I mourn the loss of their life, not just because they lost their life, but because they never got a chance to live their life. And that's what they're getting cheated of, a chance to live their life. And that's the human truth. That's the human fact. That's the human life. These people kill because they have nothing to live for. They live with nothing. They're born with nothing. They're raised with nothing. They're treated like dirt. There are women all over the world that are treated just like human dirt. It's not right. It's not kosher. It's not human. It's not humanitarianism. That's the human truth. That's the human fact. That's the human life. But you can change it little by little, piece by piece, health by health, care by care, life by life. But it's got to start somewhere. It's got to start somewhere. Might as well start here. That's the truth of human life. That's the fact of human life. That's the reality of human life. It's breeding care will breed peace. Breeding food, water, medicine will breed peace. Bringing all these things to the world. Bring education. Bring schools without borders. Bring places where people can learn without being afraid they're going to get shot, they're going to get kidnapped, they're going to get raped, they're going to get killed, they're going to get slaughtered. Syria is a blown out hell with no water, no power, no electric. And ISIS is becoming even worse than Ukraine and Belgium and other places around the world. They're becoming a new terrorist, even more deadly terrorist group. And this is not part of the FBI. It's not part of the CIA. It's not part of the NSA. But it's becoming very, very bad for the world today. As everybody thinks that terror and killing and slaughter and butchery beats humanitarianism. Because they were taught that way. They've been left in hell too long. They've been left in suffering too long. They've been left without food. They've left in Kenya. They're left without medicine. They're left without hope. They're left without a prayer. They're left without a kindness. They're left without touch. They're left without humanity. They're left without food, water, and power in many nations around the world. These things feed terrorists. Feed on them. Feed on them. They make terrorists. You raise your children right. You raise your children without the hate, without the bigotry, without the poison life. The children were all right. You have to stay involved in their lives. In all countries, take the guns out of the children's hands. Take the guns out of the children's hands. Put the books in there. Education is much more powerful, and it's much more educating, and it's much more knowledge they will have to learn the value of human life. When people are killed for playing music, something's wrong. In Iran, people were actually killed in Iran playing music. Happy singers were killed. Arrested, or put in jail because they want to have music. They don't like gay people, but they say you can dance with another guy, you can dance with two women, can dance together, but a man and a woman can't dance together. It's twisted. It's a twisted form of life. It's a twisted loss of life. It's a twisted way of life. And we have to unravel it. We have to unravel it all around the world. Not just in Iran, but in all nations, for all people. Reveal the truth. That life really can be worth living. It can be worth giving. It can be that touch of kindness. It can be that care of kindness. It can be freedom. Freedom of speech. freedom rights, freedom of education that people were born with, and it's stolen away from them. Now, I don't have all the answers, but I try. I try. I think. I think. And you think. And you wonder what that Iranian boy would be like if he had a bed, if he had a house, if he went home to his parents, if he had a playground, if he had a school for that girl. But that's the way it is in human life, man. We all got to learn with each other, by each other, for each other, for all nations, for all humanity. And that's the simple truth. We can't be solely Americans, solely Iranians. We have to be human beings. We have to be that human being. We have to be that humanitarianism. That's the power of life. That's the power to life. Less military and more humanitarianism. And that's the truth of human life. The more you help to build nations, the more you help to strengthen nations, the more people will come around. The more people will realize that life is worth living. Life is worth giving. 5 minutes a day, a kind word, a gentle touch, a simple hello. Sometimes a simple hello will relieve a guy's pain from the day's work. Sometimes just that simple thing, or a cup of coffee, or anything that will help. But you gotta feel it. You gotta feel it. You gotta feel it. Let it grow. You let the feelings of kindness grow. The feelings of hate, killing, dying. That's the human truth. That's the human life. That's the human reality. That's the human being. People learn more than kindness and they learn violence. That's the human truth. Countries will run better. The governments that care and governments that don't care, or dictators who do something for God. Look at Syria. Look at Syria. This is blown to hell. In Ukraine. In Belgium. Terrorists are killing people all over the world. You don't know the value of human life. They care of human life. Because all they know is poverty, slums, and hunger, and starvation. And that breeds hate. And that breeds a religion. And that breeds killing. That breeds the slaughter of human life. The day will come. The peace will come. Because the human race will just get sick of it. The human race will get sick of it. In every nation. And realize there's only one answer to human life. Peace, freedom. That's the truth. That's the fact. That's the reality. That's the character. That's the living. That's the helping of human life. That's the giving of human life. It's the handing of human life. We can all reach out to each other. We all need to reach out to each other. We all need to share the world together, and not just in sections or categories or classifications, but as human beings, human life, human families. And that's the truth of all human life. No matter where you live in this earth, the stronger the family, the stronger the whole. It's easier to say hi to somebody than it is to say fuck you, or call him fatso, or call him some other name. It's just much easier to help than to fail. It's easier to try than to not try at all. That's what all these videos are about. All these videos are about. Trying. You don't know unless you try. You just simply don't know unless you try. At least if you try and you fail. You tried. You do everything. Then you look for other answers. Then you look for other answers. Unless you try that kindness, that care, that reasoning, and agreeing to disagree. It's settled. Palestine won't Israel come on. Palestine have a state. Why? For what? What are they going to earn? Give them their stake. They're not bothering anybody. But you agree to disagree and let it go in it instead of living in it, being terrified by it. Because people live in slums every day. It's a fight to survive, a fight to live. I lived on the streets for a lot of years. I've been hungry. I've been homeless. Slept in tents. Slept in garages. Slept in rooftops of hotels. Slept in my truck. So I know all my which the world lives. No water, no power, no electric. This is something it's your choice. I can't make it for you. But you have to make it. You have to make it. Because I can't make it for you. But it is the answer. It is the answer. It is the hope. It is the cure. It is the cure. This is something. Thank you for watching.